Rachel Maddow has a new podcast called Burn Order. It's excellent. Maddow is a great storyteller, and in this case, she has quite a story to tell. It's about the mass hysteria that created one of the most shameful events in modern American history, namely the incarceration of Japanese Americans after Pearl Harbor. Needless to say, Pearl Harbor changed America literally overnight. Before the war, 80% of Americans were opposed to going to war. The American First Committee, an isolationist group, had grown to over 800,000 members. We were an isolationist country, no doubt about it. But immediately after Pearl Harbor, 97% supported the declaration of war. Then a few days later, Hitler declared war on us, and we were knee-deep in a war against the Axis powers of Germany, Italy, and Japan. With this newfound commitment to war came our irrational actions on the home front. Even though we were at war with three countries, the Japanese stood out because, they looked different. We interned the Germans and Italians too, but in far fewer numbers and for a much shorter period of time. 2/3 of the Japanese who went into the camps were American citizens, many of whom had sons and daughters who were in our armed services, but that didn't matter. Whole families were rounded up on the West Coast and incarcerated in these virtual concentration camps. 120,000 went into those camps and stayed for up to 4 years. They lost their homes, their jobs, businesses, farms, savings. Families had as little as 48 hours in some cases to pack up and leave. Many sold their homes, often for 10 cents on the dollar. Why? Because they looked different. It wasn't until 1990, some 45 years later, that reparation payments started for 80,000 eligible survivors. Everyone agrees now that what we did to these Japanese Americans was detestable, and we have promised it will never happen again. Yet, what are we doing today? We have federal agents raiding American cities, kidnapping people who are suspicious only because of the color of their skin. They are rounded up, incarcerated, and sent to countries that in many cases they are strangers to. This is happening today. While at the same time we are murdering people, blowing them up in the waters off Venezuela with a leader who says we're in a war, an imaginary war, a war that only exists in his increasingly demented mind. We are America. We are better than this. Or are we? Let's think about that. Onward.